Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Listen, man, I'm at the Figueroa Fulton fight right now, but I had to take a break from the card and Rice Ali's fighting. Fuck all that shit right now. We have a new champion. We have a new guy in the lightweight division. George Kambosos has beat Teofimo Lopez. He's upset Teofimo Lopez. He's completely flipped the lightweight division on its head. What a fight. I was watching it from my seat. Figueroa Fulton's going to come on soon, but I was watching it from my seat, and you know, all the stuff that George talked in the build-up, like everything that I wanted Caleb Plant to be against Canelo, he was tonight against Teo. He scored a knockdown in the first round. He dropped Teo. And he really just made Teo look silly. He showed the boxing skills. He showed that understanding of distance that I talked about when I talked about this fight a year ago. If you watched my first video where I ever talked about this fight, I said that George's best quality was his understanding of distance, his understanding of timing, and he proved it tonight in a major way. He had Teofimo looking horrible in this fight, counter-punching him, throwing combinations, running him into a straight right hand consistently. And Teo looked like a deer in the headlights. And it really goes to show you, you can never overlook your opponent. You can never overlook the man in front of you, because the man in front of Teo was his IBF mandatory for a reason. He earned that spot. He's gone on the road now 3 times and beat guys in their backyards. Man, this is great for boxing, man. I'm happy. Like, y'all know I'm a Teofimo fan, and I would have loved to see him win. But I'm happy because this breaks the monotony of this bullshit between Devin and Teo and the lightweight division. We finally got a fighter in the lightweight division that's not going to be a diva. I feel like George will fight anybody. I feel like, you know, he showed a lot of himself tonight. And even if he would have lost that fight, people should have respected him. But now people are going to be forced to respect him. So, great win for him. You know, he looked great. Teo, so all of his worst nightmares came true in my opinion for this fight. He ran into a determined fighter, a guy that didn't think he could lose and fought like it for all 12 rounds. And on top of that, you know, I'm not making an excuse for Teo. However, I do think he was a little bit weight drained, and you know, but no excuses. The better man won. The better man won. Teo was still dangerous in those later rounds. Teo did score a knockdown in the later on in the fight. And yeah, you know, we got a new champion, man. The new, you know what? I recognize Teo as the undisputed champion at 135, so fuck it. The new undisputed champion of the world, George Kambosos. They can't take it from him. You know, they can never take that from George. George Kambosos is hell of a fighter. You know, I've been hearing a lot about him for all these years here in South Florida with the training he's done at Sweatbox. Even way before the Teo fight got signed, people always said great things about George Kambosos and his attitude and his mentality. And that attitude and his mentality, it has carried him a long way with this Teofimo Lopez fight. And now he's really set Teofimo back. So, you know, it's crazy. As quick as Teofimo got the belts and became that guy in boxing, he's lost the belts, and now it's going to be back to the drawing board. So, you know, hey, it's no slight on Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez has done something special in his career, beating guys like Comey, Nakatani, Lomachenko, but he ran into a buzzsaw tonight. He ran into a guy that wasn't in there hoping to win, not talking to himself up, but he ran into a guy who genuinely believed in his heart of hearts he could win the fight, and he fought like it. So just congrats, man. This is great. This is great for boxing. Like, the lightweight division has been the most overrated division in boxing for a long time. They got all this talent. They got all this talent, and there's all these fights that we want to see happen, and it looked like we were never going to get Haney versus Lopez or Lopez versus Haney. It looked like these things were never going to happen, but now with George, I feel like, you know, it's going to be a breath of fresh air for the division. So shout out to George Kambosos, the fighting pride of all of Australia. You know, he represents Australia with all of his heart. And, you know, fuck it. I always joked around and said if Teofimo ever lost, I was going to say this, but I'm going to say it, you know. Teofimo Lopez, love him to death, love him to bits. I appreciate all the things, all the coverage he's giving me on the channel. But man, like, he keeps saying he's from Brooklyn, and he keeps saying he's from New York City. Man, you were from South Florida, and if you would have been from South Florida, you wouldn't have lost this fight. This would have never happened to you, Teo, if you were from South Florida. But, you know, lesson learned. Hopefully he can come back and be a better Teo 140, and this win can age well for Kambosos, because you know, this is a guy in George Kambosos that when he was a young prospect in Australia, if you really research his career, this is a guy that took all the money he had from his purses and his sponsorships, had little to no money, fighting at the local shows in Australia, took all the money he had, flew his ass to Wildcard Gym and sparred the biggest and baddest fighters he could. And that's where he got his experience that helped him win this fight, you know, sparring hundreds of rounds. Manny Pacquiao gave him that confidence that he could achieve great things in the sport. And then when he came to South Florida for his last 4 or 5 camps, working with Javier Centeno, you know, he's been sparring with Xander Zayas every day, Mir Imam, Manuel Tego, just really good fighters over and over again, and fighters all over South Florida. So George Kambosos, like Teofimo Lopez, is a fighter that was made in the South Florida gyms. So I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for the performance he had tonight, because a lot of people, they called him a cherry pick. They said he was a bum. They said he was lucky to get 2 split decisions against Lee Selby and Mickey Bay. But he showed you guys tonight that those wins were legitimate. He's legitimate, and you better put some respect on fucking George Kambosos' name, or you don't know shit about boxing. So we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna go back into the Park MGM Grand and watch this Fulton Figueroa fight. But I wanted to just give my thoughts on this. We'll have more thoughts on this later when we have more time. But until next time, guys, you guys take care. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just Kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.